A tail cap.
Yeah.
And
Whoops.
We're live.
And we're live.
Actually, I need to get over there so I can plug my phone in because this
Okay.
brain energy.
Plug away. I'm going to just sit here and entertain here for a couple minutes. Obviously, because we just started this and we kind of just started it really wildly. But slowly but surely, we're going to get a couple people. You going to sit down here, Carl?
I'm gonna sit right here.
Okay.
I'm in my.
Haha.
that's the way we're doing it here.
Invested. Jesus Christ.
We're not shooting airsoft, so it's fine.
It
That's
is
right.
Nerf for nothing.
Total iPro going on here. So anyway, Talon here from the Airsoft headquarters.
Carl here from the Airsoft Arena.
And Gabe Stitzel from the Minnesota Airsoft Association.
So if you guys haven't been following the social medias, I don't know why you wouldn't have, but Carl and I are here in Minnesota at the M.A.A. Airsoft Convention. Pretty much a pretty big buy, sell, trade show. And we just made a good, we're going to make it a weekend.
Yeah.
With it.
Yeah, this is a convention that we've been running for, 10 years or so. Just a community hangout. It's really like buying and selling. Everybody wants to do that, but it's really a hangout. A lot of people don't get to see each other as often as they can. The guys from Wisconsin came in. More guys came in because these guys came in. A lot of the older Minnesota players. I know this kind of thing happens in other states, but this is kind of the Midwest thing that, it's just a lot of fun.
Yep. Try to make it as lively and as fun as possible.
Yeah.
Speaking of lively fun, I am in my full Ship of Fools XOF made outfit. Lacy, svelte,
Tactical, low stream, high speed.
oh, being thick.
Where's your muffin
Oh,
for your
sorry.
muffin top?
Oh, there's my muffin top.
The tactical muffin.
I don't have a tactical. My tactical muffin top.
You are a tactical muffin,
I am
baby.
one big tactical muffin top.
So yeah, I guess I'm gonna wander around. So
We're going to do some round robin stuff. We'll keep this going for a while.
If you're in the metro area, come and see us. If you're in Milwaukee, it's a little bit of a drive.
see you in 5 hours.
Gabe, sit down here.
Okay.
We're going to do some just fun question.
All right, yeah, let's do it.
And then we'll get someone else in the hot seat.
Yeah.
So, Gabe,
He's gonna strip over here.
shut your mouth. How long you been playing Airsoft?
So I started playing Airsoft in '97. So from the Minnesota point of view, one of the original guys. I played first in California, traveled to play with the Sumerians. That's a name from blast from the past there.
Yeah.
Came back. At the time, the internet was pretty young too, so stole some stuff from friends in Hawaii, things from California, and started the Minnesota Airsoft Association with the intent of getting kids not playing in their backyards and playing at fields. We hosted games for 10 years, and then Minnesota just kind of grew on its own, as most of the other states did. And now the community really can handle itself. So we run events like this and host the primary Facebook page, and we are a neutral party. We go to all the fields, we give reviews, and we're just honest about what you can buy and what you can get. And I think that's the purpose most of us old guys now serve now. So
Right. Just
Yeah.
as the overruling neutral party.
and I don't even want to say overruling, just we don't abuse our power, or at least we try not to. But
there's certain people you got to keep in check.
yeah, absolutely. And that's part of the fun too. There are kids here who are younger than how long I've been playing.
Yeah.
And so they don't know or care who any of these old guys are here, but our information, our experience, we can give to them, and that helps. And that's again why we're here. So
Yeah. When kids start to say 20 when they state when they were born, then it's oh my God.
you wound me. You
too
wound me.
old.
Yeah. And we're fortunate that, Minnesota, and I'll say this because we're on the internet, Minnesota, I don't think gets enough credit for how much we did in this area of the country. I wrote a charter that was based on California.
Yeah.
But that got picked up by Iowa and Missouri and Montana and other places, even Wisconsin originally, which has its own Airsoft Association, which has kind of gone downhill, uphill, downhill. But we all shared our rule sets when we started out. Now everybody says we play by these rule sets that really came from California and Minnesota and a couple other groups that added certain things. And I think that's great,
Yeah. Another warm-up question.
Warm up.
Your favorite food, because we went out to eat last night, and you guys were pretty descriptive as far as your language back and forth. Oh, this cream pie.
Cream pie is the word he wanted to use. That's what
banana cream
I
pie.
do love a good cream pie.
Yeah, baby.
That's easy. I'll give you two.
Okay.
My Midwest, which is roasted chicken. Which, if you haven't had roasted chicken and you're from Wisconsin, you should, because roasting is a method invented in Wisconsin. It's a fried and steamed chicken, and anyway, you should have it. And the other one from my more Polynesian side is shrimp and lobster sauce with black beans, not the white sauce, dark sauce. I'm a fat guy. This is not a new question for me.
Yeah. But I knew it was probably one you had a very strong answer for.
Rehearsed as well.
Favorite airsoft gun?
I'm a sucker for an SD6. Like my age, growing up, like a Beretta in the back of your pants and an SD suppressed. Fantastic. Modern gun, the AAP. Man, the AAP is a winner. The high cap is still the best ground built up gun you can get. You can do anything to a high kappa. It's still my favorite. But the AAP is really making a run with that full auto capability right out of the bag.
Yep.
It's fantastic. So, a couple things there.
I do like the AAP-01. They do have that built-in blowback unit housing,
Yeah.
so you can throw whatever you want on there, and it's just going to run.
Yeah, and you're getting to the point where the aftermarket parts for that, again, you're not going to reach high kappa level, but they're starting, and the aftermarket, making it into a carbine, it's a better platform than a high kappa, because high kappa doesn't have full auto out of the box.
Right.
And AAP-01s do, so.
Not airsoft question. How many states have you been to in the U.S.?
How many states in general or to play airsoft?
In general.
We're
traveling, so travel question.
Yeah, travel question. Let's say 2021, like not much, but I played airsoft in 13, including Hawaii, which, being from the Midwest, being able to say I played airsoft in Hawaii is one of my claims to fame.
Yeah, that's something to brag about.
Yeah.
Your Instagram bio.
And a couple other guys who are Minnesota players, we all went for something called, again, depending on who watches, Savage Luau of all things, that Dave Dollarhide from the Sumerians hosted. And it was really, again, we just went to Hawaii and we played airsoft one day, and those guys they didn't play at all like we did.
Yeah.
And it was all brush, and we played on the side of a mountain. It was crazy, but they were like, you guys are loud and you guys play weird, super weird. I just got shot with a Nerf right in the fat sack there. But yeah. I haven't traveled as much, and I probably have traveled more because of airsoft.
Yeah.
I
think it's a really good reason to.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Family's a good reason.
But most of us have airsoft families now, so that's how that works.
Yeah.
So,
M.A.A. What do you have to say about just general? You did your initial intro.
Yeah.
More M.A.A. backgrounds, things you want to shout out.
I think the thing so it's as a guy who's been playing for, I'm claiming again 25 years this year, and I'm not. Here comes incoming.
My ADD is kicking in really hard. There's so much shit going on around me.
I think one of the things I've been trying to push this year is really starting to question the amount of the toxicity players. Like, everyone's talking about players being so toxic. And there was a time when Minnesota was known as those guys are such nice guys. Maybe we're all just being really super passive aggressive because that's a Minnesota thing too. But I've been trying to push this year for the Minnesota area to really look at players and say, if you're not the guy and your buddy cheated, if you didn't call him on it, you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
And if you complain about someone else and all you do is rage quit and leave the field, you're part of the problem. Did you go to the ref? Did you do the proper things? If you got a grazer and you weren't sure, if you didn't call that hit, why not? Too many people's egos are so tied into this game that at the point we're getting some maximum density, for players. It's starting to, I think, lower the overall quality of how we're playing the game. And ultimately, I want to play with my friends. And I mean, I want to play with my friends on my team. But when someone says, you guys got to split up because you're too good or you're too loud or you're too fat, it doesn't matter which of those things are. I like shooting at my friends. I like shooting with people who were just there to have fun.
Yeah.
If I'm there with the super hardcore milsimmers, and if you're that guy, go for it. Cool. I'm not that guy anymore. Cool, but I don't want you to be like, gotta win.
There's a time and a place.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like,
and for sure, we like to write off yet. Like we do for sure need to let players police themselves.
absolutely. That's really the point. Is you got to be comfortable to also say, if someone says, hey, you got hit, and go, oh, did I? Cool. Not like, piss off. Like, I don't care. I'm going to keep playing. Like, again, those are the kind of things that just makes everybody just get angry about the game and then leave and then start cheating more. And it's just not fair to the new players that we're trying to bring in.
Right.
And the other thing I'm trying to do this year is, like, we have some good fields in Minnesota, but I want people to expect things from their fields too.
Yeah.
Like, I want people to be able to go, why don't you do this? And not be jerks about it, but offer constructive things so the fields know, okay, I made money. What am I going to concentrate on this year? Are we going to concentrate on props? Are we going to concentrate on staffing? Are we going to concentrate on prizes? Who knows what it is? But players should have expectations of their fields rather than just showing up, paying their money, and then getting to shoot people, which is the bare minimum we should be getting.
Right.
You know, so I'm hoping to, again, it's kind of a lofty goal, right? But I'm kind of hoping to raise expectations this year from both players and for fields. So we'll see how that goes. At next year's con, you can ask me how it went, and we'll see.
That I think will probably take a couple of years because one of the things that 100% agree with you, but one of the weird things is like all of these new, younger age guys that have the Airsoft channels that are like the cheater videos, the headshot videos, just the random bullshittery just to like get the clicks. And then they do that intentionally just to like get the views. And then, they're doing super successful. Oh, look at all my YouTube plaques as I continue to make and create those cheater videos.
And I mean, we all like to watch those videos because they're amusing to see a guy get shot in the nuts continually and not call it until the 10th shot, then get angry. You know, you're like, yeah, you should have got it. But yeah, I don't know how much views you get for like, this is the most honorable player on the field. He was so nice. But I think there's something to be said for when someone, and I try to be this guy, is like when someone shoots me, I'm like, hey, that was a great shot. And that can sometimes make a day for that other player.
Right.
Especially if it's a kid. Like, that guy was super happy. He thanked me for shooting him, or he was super, like.
The rental kid having no idea and then busts around and like gets
and those are the future players that we're all wanting to play. You know, we want to keep this. I call it a hobby. I do not call it a sport. So you get all the rage hate on this one is like, I don't think Airsoft is a sport. I think it's a hobby.
Can you ask him to name some locations and fields to play at here in Minnesota, please?
Minnesota. So Minnesota basically has 4 fields. Twin Cities Airsoft was actually in Baldwin, Wisconsin. They call themselves Twin Cities Airsoft, and they're in Wisconsin, but that's our part of our circle. Crossfire Airsoft is in Clearwater, just south of St. Cloud. And I will just say they're the best field for beginners. They're a smaller field. They ref it very well. When they get too many players, they struggle, whereas Twin Cities is great with a lot of players that they host some big games. Big Lake Tactical is in Big Lake, of all places. They have a big field and a nice town. I'm just going to say it. Their reffing needs a little help, and they're working on it. They are working on it. And then there's a place in Lakeville, which is a paintball place primarily. People want to know that there's a group of airsofters called Crucible Airsoft that they host games at this paintball field. It is very small. It's also good for beginners. Like, I've not been, but some of my friends have. And like, if you go kitted out, you are a god. You are an airsoft god. People want, so that's a place to go. It's a lot of rental kids. It's a lot of beginners, but fun, So the 4 primary places to play in Minnesota at this time. We don't have any indoor, which is super weird. So Airsoft Arena is where all of us go to play when we want to play indoor stuff. So
unfortunately, it's a little bit of a travel.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, even last weekend, Arena had Minnesota players. So we definitely make the trek. Usually annually, unfortunately, it's a once a year kind of thing. But yeah,
I mean, we're eventually getting to the point where we're getting the staffing now to help myself and Carl in order to like get some time off. So I'm really hoping this summer to like actually make our way up here as well, and then I'll drag Carl's badass over here.
Absolutely. Well, and here's my shout out to Action Sports Boston, which I love those guys. I love that field. That's where, and for us in Minneapolis, in Minnesota, that's a 3.5 hour drive. It's not it could be a day trip, but it's not a day trip because then we want to go out and have fun with our friends. But mostly, like, that field is great. And from a Midwest point of view, they're pulling in, American Milsim. So, like, Minnesota itself has not been able to pull in a large national game since Lion Claws came.
Northern Lights.
Northern Lights.
In Duluth.
Oh, was that in Duluth? Yeah.
Because that was my first Milsim.
Yeah. So it's not one of those things that we get a lot of national games in Minnesota. So when one hits in Minnesota, jump on it. When one hits in that sphere to Wisconsin, jump on it, because it's just not one of the things.
I came up from Milwaukee 6 hours for that event, and it was awesome because we don't get many national events. We might get one a year.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lot. That looks like a long question.
That was a lot. But it's from DJ, so he's a really cool dude.
Who is it, TJ?
DJ. Thank you for all that info. I am looking to book a road trip during summer break from my job and go play for the first time. I am from northern Minnesota, so thanks for all the help. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and coming from northern Minnesota, thank you for the question as well. Coming from northern Minnesota, Crossfire again is a great field. And I, as a sidebar, as a fat guy, this is me. There is a truck stop right near there that has great banana cream pie. And since we already talked about cream pies, and it is one of my things, I love me some cream pies. And after about 2 hours of play, I stopped thinking about playing Airsoft, and I'm thinking about food. Yeah. Prime rib. Like, now this is turning into a cooking and eating channel, but that's fine too. That's good.
It is 3:30, so we got what?
Yeah, we're already planning for our all-you-can-eat sushi tonight. So, yeah.
Which, actually, we are 3.5 hours into the convention. Do you know roughly how many bodies have come in?
The last time I checked was 210 of just paying people who walk through the door. And we probably had 100 people, and I'm sure you guys have walked around, that have just started selling and presenting. Not everybody's doing it. So, I'll make up some number, but we're probably over 300 total, which is great. That said, Facebook, which is hard to tell, the Facebook group for Minnesota Airsoft has like 3,000 people. Did I expect 3,000 people? I didn't. So that would have been insane. So
it would have been really cool to have.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah. So next year, we're going to keep this, and then we're going to keep pushing it next year. We expect more bodies.
We expect you guys.
That's right.
And, here's the thing. I just used Facebook to promote this. Yeah, I don't want to be the boomer in the room, but like, I probably missed out on some choice opportunities like something like this to get the word out. So sharing this, like, Airsoft is still a community that word of mouth matters.
Yeah.
So the more people that knows that it happens, it's like, hey, is this a spring thing? And we're, there's another person here, Breach. I hope maybe you talked to Breach. He was in the Illinois area. He also held a convention. So then there was 2 conventions that were kind of in the Midwest.
Yeah.
His is gone. Ours is here. We wanted to do things like panels and other things, and we just really didn't have the time, or, we didn't think about it. But the bigger these things get, expectations, the more people should expect. You want prizes, you want sales, great. But having a discussion panel about Airsoft starting in the 1970s, and your first gun was your bicycle pump Tokyo Marui.
Exactly.
Like, that shit's awesome. That's great. So
the Spring M16.
Yeah.
That's not originally spring powered.
Yeah,
like made it.
Like, people don't know where Airsoft came from, and to see it by today's standards, it's ridiculous how we used to play.
Yeah, and seeing, like, from a store perspective, all of these kids that come in are like, hey, I just saw a bunch of YouTube guys, and they had like these HPA pistols. I want that, Bill. Yeah. And that's like, whoa, pump the brakes. We got to warm me up to that first kid.
That in the world, we're like, hey, what kind of gun do you have? And they go, I have an Omega 427 Omega 79 Bravo. And I'm like, I have no idea that, it's an M4. Okay, it's an M4. Is it an AEG? Yeah. I'm like, okay, great. Good for you. But like, there's so many guns come from the same place.
Yeah.
And then get shipped to different vendors who then slap their name on it. And I don't think people understand that that's how the airsoft world works from China for sure. One factory's making all your Glocks, people. And then, who has the license and who snuck it out? That's a different story. So
something that I'm definitely hoping to put at rest. Definitely trying to answer those questions and trying to, like, not quite correct, but just to educate the player base a little bit more.
Yeah.
I struggle, but I'm hopefully getting there.
Well, and your experience at the indoor field is so different than people who mostly play outdoor.
Right.
And when someone from an outdoor comes to play indoor, it's a real eye-opening experience. Like if you're not a fast player, not that you have to be, but like it's just a different dynamic, and it's a different gun. You know, people bring those long guns to the indoor, and you're like, oh, slow your roll, partner.
And just like geographically as well, like just going from field to field to field,
Oh, yeah.
indoor or outdoor player, even if you go to another state with another indoor field, that's a whole nother player base
Absolutely.
that does things just a little bit differently.
Well, and the ridiculous things of just like wildlife.
Yeah.
We played a game in Reno, Nevada, out in the desert, which actually was a lot more fun. There was more cover than I thought. And people were like, take your shoes and put them in your tent. I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, scorpions are there. And I jumped into some water in Missouri, and they're like, Jesus, why are you doing that? And I'm like, it's just water. And they're like, there's water moccasins in here or whatever. And I was like, what? Like, there are things that can kill you.
Yeah.
That if you're from another state, especially Minnesota, which is, the most vanilla area there is, that's part of the fun too, right?
Yeah.
Like I've never seen certain kinds of trees and bushes before, and that's travel to play. If you haven't traveled to play, you really should,
It's definitely worth it, but it's one of those things like mentally, you got to like know that you're there for a fun time, not there just to win.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean,
It helps to win.
Absolutely. Everybody wants to win.
Yeah.
That's why we play this game. You play the game and win. But, I've always said, not that mostly because I'm just a terrible player. Like if I get no kills in a day, but we still win, or I accomplish a mission, that's the goal, guys. Like Airsoft. Oh, it's milsim. In military simulations, if you're in an ongoing war, sure, you're shooting rounds, but you want to be stealthy. You want to be sneaky. And again, that's not me anymore, but I like that feel. Like I like what's the mission? Is this an actual mission, or did you just want me to run into a line of fire? And some of the bigger milsim games we're running now are awesome with the level of absolute our PA system's going off. The amount of work they're putting into it, like 24-hour, 48-hour, 7-day, like that's insane to me.
Yeah,
like I don't want to do that.
All the new night events that like years ago, that's like, what? You guys are just starting night events?
Yeah. Well, in night events, you get a caliber of player, like, tracer unit. That's the cheapest thing they've got. They're running nice NVGs and full helmet systems. I'm like, whoa, like that's way beyond where I'm at this point. So, yeah. Like, again, what we're offering now is so much better than it was. But I think we're, again, losing a little bit of what made a player so special. Yeah. Good, honorable, honest. Just honest.
Yeah. And it's not so much a pay to play.
Yeah.
It's nice to have good gear and have good kit.
I love gear. I'm a total Gucci guy. But, it's I saw an interesting thing, which was, and in a lot of the milsim places talk about this, being a customer versus being a participant.
Yeah.
And, a customer, you come in, you're like, well, I'm going to do whatever I want. And the participant believes in the game. I honestly find myself kind of in the middle. It kind of depends on the game. Like if the game is really run well and the organizers are into it and they're not, just pumping people up and it's all rah, 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 but I believe in it. I'm like, yeah, this is a sweet game. I want to play Sunday.
Yeah.
If it's not that kind of game and they're blowing smoke up my butt all day, I'm going to have brunch on Sunday. And that's just the way I like to play. But I'm out there to have fun. I'm out there to say, great shot. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe we just got rolled. Like when you get rolled in a really significant way,
right.
You're like, holy crap, that was awesome. You guys are sweet.
Yeah. If you guys in your squad set up a linear ambush and then you still get rolled just because they got a couple of vehicles, like to me, I still feel good. Like I did the linear ambush like I was supposed to. I did it to the best of my abilities.
Absolutely.
They just had a little bit better equipment. They had a couple more forces. And you know what? Technical guys, here's a patch.
Here's one, and we'll see if we get comments on this, is like, I think games should have some level where the organizer of the game is monitoring the teams.
Yeah.
And if one team is just pounding the other, I think something has to happen, because teams and games that are one-sided, people get angry, people leave. Like I was just reading something about an American milsim where people left at lunch because they were so upset. That can't happen, because then the rest of the game is ruined.
Yeah.
But that said, it's a super fine line, right? Like I don't want it scripted.
Right. And the staff are all dependent on the players being able to participate.
Absolutely. And
Hey, where's the patch box?
down there. You have to go in front of the camera.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna give he's giving prizes out. Oh, to little kids. They are our future.
You're welcome, man. That jacket is
Oh.
dope.
Familiar with the holiday truck stop?
Holiday.
Baked beans are amazing there.
Yes, Nelson's. It's the best. and you get the pie when you eat dinner, and then you get baked goods to eat on the way home, unless you're on your your keto diet.
Oh,
Then
where
you
did
gotta.
we stop? We stopped at Hinton, and what was it, a Clark? Whatever it was.
I heard you gave Danishes, and I was like, the last Danish keep, because we're going to eat some of that. You heading out? Thank you so much.
We gave him 3, and he tossed, I don't know, did he toss 2?
He did toss 2, and I was like, you.
No, one was supposed to be a raffle, and I'm going to present it in the maid outfit.
Oh, well, now he's going to do it. Maid outfit. Not a lot of maid outfits in Minnesota until now, so maybe this is a new trend.
We pushed that pretty hard, Carl. We pushed that pretty hard.
Keep pushing it. So the first
Maid
year-
sim. That might be a whole different thing.
The first time we did it, there was like 4 of us, and then the next year there was 10. And now this year we'll see how many, because a lot of people are like, I'm going to do it.
I'll just, again, Operation Northern Front, American Meal Sim at Action Sport Boston. There's a civilian side, and they have to dress like a civilian. As far as I know, civilians, like maids, are civilians. So there might be a whole maid squad. I'm saying that, and they will hate that, and I will get in trouble for mentioning that. But
You did what they said, civilian clothes.
and you're part of the problem.
Civvies. Civvies wear maid outfits.
Yes, see? The civilian.
So, hey, I'm watching on VR right now. Do you guys think we could have an Airsoft Con at the Waukesha Expo Center? More room for shooting ranges, shooting competitions, fashion shows.
Well, Waukesha is your zone.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing about a lot of these places, depending on the venue, is you can't shoot.
Right.
And everybody wants to shoot. Like, I just want, how do you prove that guns are working with you if you don't put a battery in it, or show off your awesome rate of fire by, hooking up your tank?
Yeah.
I want to show off my AAP because it's baller. But that's the thing that you usually don't get at this particular facility. Not that it helps for Waukesha. They had like a separate hallway in a classroom. So we actually closed it off and had this very convoluted, put on a mask, go in here, shoot guns. That worked. Yeah, I don't know anything about the Waukesha Center, though.
Waukesha, I think that's something that definitely will need to pull, because for sure, the store wouldn't be able to have the staff to pull that all off.
Yeah.
That would need to be a collaborative
Absolutely.
type of effort.
Yeah. Well, and then that's an interesting thing. I know our community, and I've done certain things, but running a con, it's like running any other event. It's a lot of work. And, I've been working on this since November. And I know I had things that I didn't do right. So, a con in another area, really what it takes is someone who's interested enough to do the groundwork, to find a site, find out the rules. And then it's just some OCD planning, right? And then promotion. So it's really not hard to do. Again, sites, if you know somebody at the Waukesha Convention Center or whatever it is, ask, will they do a gun show? And if they do a gun show, 100% you can do an airsoft show.
Yeah.
And then at that point, do they provide tables? Will they set up the It's really minor stuff, but in the grand scheme, someone's just got to look into it and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if there was a Wisconsin con, we'd come to that one, and then we'd hang out. And,
Yeah, we would have a whole nother row of guys that are just
and find out where to eat in Waukesha. So.
Yeah. Don't get alarmed. I'm grabbing a Nerf dart.
Oh, from behind me, I see.
From behind you.
Say one team is far better. Oh no, that's just him going off the other comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like squad or a small squad tactics. If you know where your squad is a little bit more lacking, it's not really something so much to do squad-based training. It's certainly fun. It's good to get your squad of guys and just get in someone's backyard and spend an afternoon doing small squad tactics. That's fun. But there's a point where once you start to schedule once a month and hey, you didn't make it to the last 2 meetups, so we're gonna have to put you on watching our 6 for the next event.
Everybody goes through that period of time, I think, where airsoft is your life. But when your airsoft turns into your job, then it kind of loses some of its luster.
Yeah.
And I actually think a huge thing is just playing together and getting familiar with the people you're playing with. Again, I play with a group of guys who've been playing for 20 some years each, but we're fat guys. And if there's a running game, who are the runners in this group? You guys should do that, and we'll flank or something else.
Yeah.
Knowing what you're good at, knowing what you're not good at. Training's a weird thing. A lot of people train,
Yeah.
but who taught them? And if you don't have someone to actually teach you, that's a little rough. I'm not saying not to do it, because I do believe in familiarity, but I think a big point is just getting out and playing with other people.
Yeah.
Like you have your crew. If there's someone else who's rocking it and you notice it, play with that guy or that crew. Maybe you learn something. Maybe you join those guys. Maybe you find out their style is not your style. But if you learn something from that, that's great. Not every old person playing on a field is an experienced airsoft player, but look at the old. You can tell the guys who've been playing for a while and kind of watch what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know,
and it also takes the question specifically from the comment specifically was for like large events.
Yeah.
But say, because I like the point of once you roll with guys often enough, you know how they're going to react.
Yeah.
Like if you, and in my case specifically, play with the guy often enough, and even just his body language on how he approaches the corner, I can identify if he's nervous about someone coming from a different direction. Oh, then guess what? I'm going to back him up and cover him and reassure him that that's where he wants to move. Oh, he's contacting or making contact with someone in this room. Well, then I can flank around because I know if he's kneeling, standing, whatever position, if he intends to push or hold.
and there's definitely a level of airsoft basics.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's like, what hand signal should I use? And I'm like, use the one that works.
Yeah.
You don't have to get crazy about it. But if you start playing with the same people and start developing that, oh, he looks like he smelled something, we should be worried. Or if you have a guy who's always good at being at point, or a guy who sucks at being at point, that guy should be in the back. A guy who always likes to, do full auto. There's a point, one with the comfortable, but even when you're playing with people you don't know, there's a level of basics that everybody gets to. Like at some point, everybody, if you're stacked on a room, at some point, you can't do anything and then throw a grenade and go.
Yeah.
And if someone's like, I don't know if I should go, you're first. You're gonna get shot. Just expect it. And I'm gonna get shot because I'm second. But the third and fourth guy, and we will get the objective. I think too many people waffle over things like, should I actually go? Yeah, go. It's an airsoft game. You're gonna regen back in. But know how games are played, and at some point you get comfortable.
Exactly.
That's what I think a big part of it is. Yeah.
It's all just being comfortable with getting shot and being comfortable with
Absolutely.
being able to shoot someone.
Yeah. If you come on a game and you're like, I didn't get shot all day. I don't know what you were doing all day.
Yeah.
Like maybe you're a sniper. Good for you. But like at some point, people just run. At some point, people screw it. Let's see if this works. And if it does, you're a hero. And if it doesn't, you get shot. Whatever.
Right. I mean, even like the really big Milsim West games,
Yeah.
it's still a 15, 30-minute walk to the next respawn area. I mean, granted, that's a long time to walk, but it's better than the multiple days of hiking that the real world would be.
Oh God, yes. Yeah. Well, and getting shot, obviously, you're not coming back after 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for people who are interested in the larger Milsim games, again, there is a level of dedication, and it's not only your physical conditioning. And I say this as someone who's good enough to play, but it's like your gear commitment and your mentality really has to be at a point where you're thinking, I'm in this for a grind.
Yeah.
Like,
it's gonna suck.
Yeah, and like, you should read the rules. Read. Like, you're expected to sleep on the field, and I'm not going to do that. But then that's not the game for you. Where is your lighter version of that game? Okay, this is a 2-day game. There's a night game thrown in for fun, but it doesn't count for points, so I can do whatever I want. Kind of. You got to build your way into larger Milsim games.
Yeah. The thing that I've noticed more going off of like larger events is that players want to get their money's worth.
Yeah.
And like, you definitely do get your money's worth.
Absolutely.
But it comes down to the mentality and noticing that, hey, just because they rose the ticket prices may not be because they're trying to suck more money. Maybe it's because there was some dickwad that started punching through a wall, kicking through a wall, damaging the facility, and that costs money, right? Just because it's a decommissioned military facility that no one's using regularly doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and like every person who's ever been to any game, but like Milsim games is everybody has that moment. Like you were sitting in a building and they told you to hold the line, and you see a couple guys and you start seeing vehicles and you see more guys and you're like, oh my God, like you're going to get killed.
Yeah.
But like that whole oncoming slot, you're like, yeah, bring it. I'm going to die, but I'm going to take like just that image of that coming your way. Or like people get grenaded and you're like, oh my God, I didn't see that coming. There's great videos of it, but nothing substitutes playing it.
Right.
Being there. But again, mentality, like you said, you got to realize you're there to have fun, but also to play that game.
Right. To find balance.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got to find, again, there's lots of options for larger Milsim games. You pick the one that serves you best. You know, again, I grew up in a world where we did a lot of Lion Claws events. Lion Claws is not as popular as it used to be, but they still hold games and they're still solid games. So,
A comment. Put them on equipment duty for the next 5 events.
what's that?
For the guys that don't make it to team training.
Yeah. Start charging them. You got to buy ice cream. That's how my team would work if you show. And then everybody would miss, so we could all just buy ice cream. But
That's pretty much all I have.
Yeah, no,
for
great.
you, like as far as
Yeah.
my specific questions.
yeah, no, it's fun. I'm glad you guys came. This is, I think, what's lacking in this particular kind of event.
Yeah.
One, the live stream, but two, like I've been so busy myself, I haven't been able to take pictures or anything. So, as people are watching this live view, if you have recommendations for things to do, like if this is the first time you heard it and you're in Wisconsin, I'm not going to blame you for that. I didn't do much promotion, but what helps? Do the videos work? Do the YouTube videos that you're seeing right now? Does that help you kind of find out about things and learn things and be interested? Like, help this guy out. Help Talon out. I am being beckoned elsewhere. Thank you all. Thank you, Talon. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Sushi.
So that is what we have as far as Gabe. Carl, do you want to fill back in, or do you want to find someone for the hot seat?
I tried to get LC to come.
Do you want to grab one of the Crossfire guys? Does Josh want to bullshit? Okay. Here, you take this hot seat. You take the mic. You entertain. I'll go to the Crossfire guys. Entertainment.
I got to hold the mic.
That's right.
Hi, everybody. Hold on. I'm going to sit this way so I can kind of read. All right. There's a lot of questions that I wasn't here for. So, hi, I'm Carl. If you don't know me, now you do. Basically, the last, hour, I've been just walking around with this Nerf gun and doing that. So, hey. Anything you guys want to know? Say something, Airsoft headquarters. Oh, Airsoft Con in Waukesha. We've never tried to do it. We just show up to them when people ask us to. Yeah, that's right. Be a pirate, be a maid, be of service. So, yeah, going back to the Waukesha Con, really, we just show up. We've never really put one on. So I kind of don't have the time between a veterans organization I'm in, running the arena, etc., being a parent. I got to prioritize my time, and I don't have time for that. I don't really know what to talk about, per se, because I've been buying a bunch of stuff like a dummy, a bunch of patches. I bought a 3-color Desert Molly Ruck, some other stuff. It has been a Wu-Tang ashtray, because that's cool. My wife will be upset with me. So, yeah. Josh, do you want to be on camera? The man who made some cool stuff that I bought a bunch of, he doesn't want to be on camera. I want promote your company. Promote your company. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, check it out. And if you live in a legal state, this is perfect for you.
If you want a bong, come to hobopipe.com. That's hobopipe.com. 21 and older only.
As for vendors, there's a lot of people doing private sales. There's someone just got themselves a Kringle. Wait, where are we putting the Kringle? Oh, we got a Kringle in the raffle. Vendors, Enola Gay right behind us. If you see this mountain of EG67s, the white box over there is full of the new smoke grenades. We got, looks to be prop quality from Aliens, the movie guns. A bunch of kit over there. I mean, it's all over. A lot of different stuff. Plenty of deals are happening. And I think, if you are in the area, because this is only open for another 2 hours, around that 5 o'clock magic hour, deals are made beyond belief because people don't want to pack stuff back up to take home. So you can find things for cheap. I already paid or all of my cash that I was allotted to spend is gone. It was gone in the first hour. Illinois has done airsoft cons in Rockford before. I don't think anyone's ever, that I know of, in the last 10 years that I've been doing this, I don't know anyone who has done that in Milwaukee or Waukesha. So if anyone has the gumption and the wherewithal, maybe even the sand or grit, this man used to put on the Illinois one. Woo! What do I think of the Navrich P90? I wouldn't buy one. That's just me. I already have enough guns. If other people want to buy it or have an opinion, how do you feel about the Navrich P90? You know anything about this?
Navrich is a chode.
Well, I didn't say it, but you heard it. Well, that just went.
You want me to elaborate?
All right, yeah. Chris, you will elaborate.
I'm not Chris Yu, I'm Chris Lau.
Damn it!
Okay, I'm half Asian. How could you get like we
Listen.
don't even look anything alike?
I knew you were Chris, but I haven't seen you in 3 years.
We should have a safety talk about people shooting other people in the chest at distance in a convention around crowded people. Coda.
I still hit you, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay. Just then what are you whining about? Anyway,
You're talking. Your Navrich talk.
my Navrich, where's the camera?
Right there.
Oh, okay. I've been looking at that the whole time. Yeah. All right. So Navrich is some freaking show that like puts together his highlight reels, and like every 14-year-old kid worships him. You can pound sand for all I care. What are the comments saying? Am I wrong?
I'm not saying either way, but that's his opinion. Comments. A box of EG67s. I don't even know how much they're selling them for. Like a case is $225. I think the boxes are $250. Count. $225 count. How much is it? How much are they selling it for? Yeah, it's $225 for a case of 25. So $10 a pop. I don't have that kind of money right now. So yeah. Anything else? Where's Talon so we can bring in another airsoft guy? Where is he? Oh, he's over there. I can see him. Talon bought a really cool thing. It's a spring tensile strength tester, so you can tell if it's you have a random spring. You can find out what level spring it is. Let me find.
Oh my gosh. Not my opinion. That's individual opinion. They have a link. A link for, I'm not sure. A link for the Enola Gaze. I think average guns are okay. He seems to be pushing quality standards.
I have to come back with an answer about EG67s.
Yeah, but you just accept.
For a link to purchase them, it's actually going to be much better for you to buy them in person because of hazmat shipping.
But what if he wants to pay the hazmat shipping?
The seller really doesn't want to do that.
They're just straight up not going to ship it to you. Buy it in person.
Wait, you want to sit down and talk? You can do that.
I mean, I can.
Do it.
Might as well.
Sure.
What's up?
All right, introduce yourself, Caleb.
So I'm Caleb, the other
is right there.
co-presenter for the AirCon. Been playing airsoft for like 20 years. So
Okay. You've
Yeah.
been playing airsoft 20 years. Where'd you start playing airsoft?
Chicago. So then moved to Minnesota and been playing here ever since. So
Do speak pretty loudly. We do
Oh.
have a hot
shit.
bustling.
sure.
We got a whole convention here.
So yeah, been playing in Minnesota since 2001, basically. So
Okay. Are you with any field? Are you kind of just making your rounds with all the fields?
So in general, me and Gabe kind of were in the same circle. So we've been playing at Action Sports in Wisconsin, TCA in Baldwin, and then Crossfire in St. Cloud, Minnesota. So yeah, that's really it. And then doing a couple national games here and there.
What is your favorite? Since you brought it up, I might as well just ask a question. What's your favorite national event coordinator? Like, Or like, is there a location you prefer to go to?
The mall in Milwaukee is probably my favorite national game.
R.I.P.
Yeah, exactly. That's not happening again.
Someone fucked that up.
Yeah, the last time I was there, like people were punching holes in walls and doing all kinds of crazy shit.
Wow, it's almost like I brought that up just a couple minutes ago.
Oh, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, weird that they're increasing prices
Yeah.
in order to compensate for the damage that's going to occur. Weird.
So, besides that, I think we really want to hit a Third Coast game this year. That we haven't done any of their games yet, so we can't speak to that. So, but you know, everyone has a certain niche that they're trying to fill. We're more chill, lazy fat dudes, so we like, you know, American Milsim, Milsim West, that hardcore. You know, I did that in the military. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm fucking fuck that.
You don't want to like give people your money just to ruck for a good 4 hours and then sit on gear duty for 6 hours overnight.
No, I mean,
that's not fun to you.
No, it's weird. It's weird. I'm fucked up like that, I guess. But no, I mean, like our big thing is you go into a game with minimal expectations and to go hang out with your buddies and have fun. And, you know, if you go into it with that, every game's great.
Yeah.
Because like the last Northern Front, like Sunday, we're done playing. We're going to go eat brunch. And it was fantastic. So living that fat guy life.
Yeah. I do like the TCA events, the Third Coast Airsoft. They are very similar to AMS. There's like small details that, you know, they're slightly different, but they're close enough in how they run events and how things are balanced that it's really good.
Yeah, like the thing that I'm most excited about their games is their specific support roles. Like all their roles, I'm all about that because it lets people customize a kit to their play style.
Yeah.
And I think in general, the more you let somebody play how they want to play, the better a game's going to be.
Yeah.
So
I will say at I forgot what camp it was, but it was not GTI. It was the other training facility down in Georgia, Third Coast event. I liked how they ran the different factions and different companies. Each one had an individual camo pattern to signify what they're in. And like, it was really messed up because on the second day, the whole Tiger Stripe faction, which is the airborne unit, they get to pre-deploy for the start of every event. Second day, no one in Tiger Stripe showed up. No one was there. So our unit, the recon element, we were right next to them.
All of a sudden your flank's gone.
Yeah.
Like
now
Scott will never die. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
So our AOR2 troop was like, hey, can we be the pre-deploy element? I mean, we've got a dozen guys. It's better than 30. We can fulfill that recon element. We can pre-deploy in the woods. We can be super stealthy. We can move around and get the objectives really early.
Yeah, I mean, like any organizers have to be so like on the fly, like Johnny on the spot with flexible rule sets and like picking up the pieces because, you know, like weather, people not playing on, you know, a second day. Like there's a myriad of reasons why like games do not go according to plan ever.
Right.
You know, and it's like that's really one of the key elements to being a good game organizer is that flexibility to salvage a game and make it still enjoyable for everybody that's left.
Yeah.
So like we've heard a lot of good things about Third Coast, and that's why I want to go out and hit them up this year. So
maybe at some point we can get all the guys together for one big unit.
You know, like that's always the best.
Yeah.
When you roll in force and then people are like, oh God, they're here.
It was like what 6-7 years ago, like all the Midwest guys would be the woodland, and then all the southern half of the states would be just tan color. And like every event, we know who was who.
All the Lion Claws games, it was like all the Minnesota guys were just like, we're not playing U.S. side. We're not playing U.S. side. We'll play the Somali Pirates. We'll play this. Just don't. We're never going to wear multicam.
Yeah.
Like it's just in general, some of those factions are a little try hard, and that's all great, you know. to each their own, but
Yeah.
we're a bunch of lazy fucks, so we like the chill side.
Yeah, you like to have fun.
Yeah.
We've got the whole pile of Enola Gay stuff behind you.
We do.
Walk us through that.
So there's been a real, just between Tegan, the shortage in Tegan and Enola Gay, in Minnesota, there's just been a real lack of it. So I was like, get into it. This is my first foray into it. I was like, I'll buy a pallet. I don't know anything about it. Besides, I love to throw grenades. And I was like, well, worst case, I'll use my own product like a fucking bad drug dealer and just throw grenades constantly, So I was like, well, that's the worst case. Best case, it's make a few bucks, playing airsoft and having fun. So
Yeah.
but
So you are a dealer with Enola Gay.
Yep.
You are not affiliated with them. You're not a staff member of
nope,
Enola Gay.
nope. I'm just an authorized dealer.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was a real easy apply online, have a business name, all that jazz. So it was a pretty simple thing to do, and
But it is through a business account, not personal.
no,
account.
It is a business account. It is a legitimate, I got a
Legal
EIN
paperwork.
and tax ID, and it's legit. So there is some effort required. You just can't be like, hey, I want to get a good deal on Enola Gay. Let me go sign up.
Here's my mom's MasterCard.
Yeah. I wish it was that easy. That would honestly, it should be that way, but it's not. And so we live in the confines of how they set it up. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's so if people are interested in that, and you're in the local Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa area, I'm more than willing to work something out with you. I don't want to go national. I don't want to ship national. I just want to support the local community. And yeah.
So that being said, are you going to be at different fields or different small local Minnesota events?
The best way to get a hold of us is really the M.A.A. boards. It's the Minnesota Airsoft Association on Facebook. We're really active on that. We're really trying to, especially this year, just engage the community, set the standard for players and fields in our area, just to raise the bar, elevate the sport a little bit. And so, if you want to get a hold of me, I'm Caleb Huss on the M.A.A. boards. Yeah, I'm pretty eady to find.
There you go. Well, we got you maybe some more business.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. So
let's look at what some of the comments are. What are your thoughts on Navrich products?
I think in general they're great out of the box. The Mark 23 is an awesome gun.
Yeah,
it's been a fucking workhorse forever. So you get a little upgraded Mark 23. It's that's a great skirmish gun. The sniper rifle, again, it's you can probably make a better gun, but you have to have that knowledge and that tech skill and just the understanding. So if you're a new player and you just want something right out of the box, hey, it's great. Beyond that, it's probably a little overhyped, but what isn't?
Yeah, I think it's a little overhyped, but I did make a video of the Navrich SSG 10 A3.
Yep.
Whatever one of his bolt action rifles.
Yeah.
Compared to an Ares M.A.A. ASO1.
Yeah.
And so I used 4 3s in the Navrich because that had the best grouping size. And then I used 3 2s in the M.A.A. because that had the best grouping size. At 165 feet, both sucked the same. Yeah. Like a 2.5 foot by 2.5 foot target, the Navrich rifle hit 3 out of 5 times.
And you really have to spend a ton of money to get a sniper rifle to outperform even your most basic HPA that's set up well.
Yeah.
And so it's and if you do that and you're using 4.6, heavyweight BBs and you got the right setup and the stars are aligned and you get that 320 foot shot, that just oh my God, this is amazing. But just in general, it doesn't work out that way. You know, like for me, I have had really good success with flat hop, wide boards, and HPAs. And like that's my go-to on semi, like Kytheras and Fusion engines. And it's like, that's what I like to run.
Oh no, they're a little bit farther out of range.
Yeah.
Uh.
Exactly. It's like, this is airsoft. It's not like, we're not taking like ballistic calculations at 2 miles to, you know, it's like you see where your BB went and you're like, oh, I need to adjust.
Quick course correction.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, that works. So it's a lot easier to do that with a semi-auto gun than a bolt-action sniper rifle. So
Yeah. Well, 100%.
yeah.
100% agree.
So
Any Navrich product that you favor?
I don't own any of the shit.
Okay.
So like I don't like I can't speak intelligently on them, to be totally honest.
Based on personal experience.
But based on personal experience, it's like I've just played against it a lot, and it's like not super impressed.
Specifically for you, from Nordic Ninja, besides M4s and AKs, what guns do you want to see more of? I mean, that's pretty obvious, other than more M4s and more AKs.
Yeah, I mean, I have a personal love affair with the Steyr AUG, like the Shadow AUGs back in the day.
I was just thinking that.
Like, those things were awesome. They were quiet. They had the foam-filled bodies, and they're just super cool. I just, like, really, realistically, like, anything like that, I've been rocking AAPs, the Assassin, real hard this last year, and that's been my go-to fun gun. It's like, yeah, you put $1,000 into it, but that baby fucking rips, and it's just like, like you go out there with your drum mag and your HPA line, and you're just like, you know, little like mini Uzi, and it's like it's just a blast, and it's the most fun I've had in a very long time. But like anything that's not an M4 or an AK, like you can't go wrong. It's like run an MP7, run like I got a buddy that has a HPA Uzi, you know, like that's cool. It's not practical, but it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think AUGs and G36s definitely they're around. They're not super prevalent, but I think there could be like a harder push of players utilizing them a little more often.
It's like the G36 in particular, when you get into roles, like you want a heavy machine gun or a light machine gun, and it's like, okay, I have a G36 with a bipod and a heavy barrel and a, you know, double C mag. It's like, is that a light machine gun? Or, you know, like you could do some cool stuff there, but like SIG, like the 5.52 or the 5.56, like I think those are real cool guns that are underutilized. Yeah, but there's so many cool guns. Just rock whatever the fuck you like makes you happy.
Is the Tactical Toy Store going to get SRU Precision products to check out? I like their helmets, but I have a goofy head, so I'm cautious of buying one before trying it on. Before trying it on. So we're not going to get selectively. We'll get SRU products. They're super weird because they're 3D printed and they have such niche applications. I would love to do a bullpup converted like gas blowback rifle system. They make some really cool kits, especially for like the KWA M11s. I can get M11s pretty regularly from KWA. If I could do like a bullpup kit, I think that would be sick.
Like they have an M14 kit.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome. I wish they made it in G&G compatible, but like, you know, they don't. So it's like, well, I'm not going to buy a shitty M14 to make that kit.
Yeah,
unfortunately. So
I get like they go with gas blowbacks just because the sizing and the operation is going to be fairly standardized. You don't have like wiring harnesses to adapt and make certain that you fit it just right.
Yeah, I mean it makes. That's the thing. It's like you have so many different options. They can't do everything, right?
Yeah.
So they got to choose something and go with it. And no matter what they choose, they're going to piss off 10 people and make 10 people happy. So yeah, whatever.
So maybe in the future we'll get some more standardized stuff. Who knows? Tim Churchill, sup? Do EG67s work in a dog ball launcher? Yes, they do.
Yeah, I mean, anything that's really fits in that locker word.
Yeah,
So it's like,
they do work. I've seen firsthand a guy with one of the dog launchers just to get it a little bit further because he didn't want to use his tagging launcher. Like, it's a goofy accessory to have, but it's one to have.
I mean, you won't see me doing it. It's kind of, like I think it's stupid. But hey, if whatever rocks your, whatever gets your rocks off.
It'd be stupid fun.
Yeah, like at the last Northern Front when I got pegged like by a dude with a tag in at like 200 yards, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is the best day of my life.
It's gonna be like a world record.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, this changes so many things. So it's like, if it's stupid and it works, maybe it's not stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe they're just being innovative.
yeah.
Shout out for Airsoft 3 C3. Airsoft 3 C3. Airsoft C3 has kind of died. R.I.P. Way of the dodo.
Yeah,
Whoops.
Which sucks. We're doing good things and they
Yeah.
stop.
It does suck because we had more followers than E-Bike did.
Oh,
Wow.
that's turns out when you have a monopoly on the system, you push out competition.
You opening a range in the shop for customers? Not right now, primarily because if I do have a range for guns for customers to try out, that would mean that I would need to purchase every single gun in the store, which would come to a total of, we did the math one time, 80,000, 60,000, some ridiculous number
depending on the day.
that we could not afford, ever. It would be cool, but not realistic right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Or the insurance.
yeah.
Caleb, do you have anything that you need to shout out, want to shout out?
No, man, I'm just glad you guys could come out. It's been great to have you guys at the AirCon, and it's nice to have it again after COVID. So, hopefully this will be a good start to the year, and just goes, everybody has fun.
It's good to have a good excuse to come out and just hang out with everyone.
Hang out, eat good food,
And actually have the staff too.
Yeah,
cover me.
exactly. So, you get to see some cool stuff too.
Yeah.
So,
There are some unique guns that have made their way onto some tables here.
well,
Like some original Tokyo Marus like we were talking about last night.
yeah, that, and you're seeing cans of red gas that are 20 years old, and you're like, oh man, I remember that stuff, and you're like, holy shit, that's probably worth its weight in gold.
You probably have to cut this short right now because I gotta go over there and I don't think they'll still have Wi-Fi.
Cool.
Okay,
I gotta
well,
go do something.
we're at an hour. Can you wait 5 minutes? I was supposed to have Crossfire Airsoft. I saw him around. He was here. Do I see him anymore?
He's still over at his table.
Do you want my phone to take pictures with them?
Sure, that'll work.
That way I can just keep things going. Yeah. Oh. I heard rumors of a new location. Possible projections for a new location. Fingers crossed that we can actually, in the next couple of years, get enough funds to break ground and build a new location. We've kind of been teasing it. We've done rough discussions amongst the manager ownership group as far as would it be more beneficial to build or rent. And I think we're leaning more towards the build and starting from scratch and making what we want and really creating a ground up Midwestern airsoft headquarters, essentially. Just make it the place to go is what we're gonna hopefully try to do. Oh, do I need to flag down the Crossfire Airsoft guys? I don't know where they went. Ooh, on your left arm, is that a Astos? Yeah, it is, brah. Astos sword. Can you tell me exactly what the name of the sword is? There was another weeb at the tattoo parlor that was getting Nezuko on his forearm, really big on his forearm. And then he couldn't remember that it was Nezuko's name or the name of the anime. So had a little bit of an outweave and a weave type of moment. I'm trying to get another body. Not that I don't have incredibly fun things to talk to you guys about, but it'd be just nice to have like another body, another perspective, someone else to talk with. He looks like he's doing something important. Nick. I want Nick. I'm doing a live right now.
So you're live right now?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So you're gonna take the hot seat. You're gonna be a fill-in until the Crossfire Airsoft guys come back.
Okay, I'm a fill-in. Yeah.
You're special guest.
Oh yeah.
Special guest.
Yeah.
Not
I'm
a guest
special,
guest. You're a special guest.
So what's up? What questions you got, Talon?
What's your name?
I'm Nick Harnish.
And by the way,
Oh,
camera's
the
right
camera's there. That's
Yep.
more helpful. Nick Harnish, been airsofting since I was like 14. Just moved back from Arizona, where I ran the Southwest detachment for VFA. Coming back, just trying to see what the whole field is about now. A lot has changed in the Midwest, but man, because most of your audience is Midwest.
Yeah.
You guys are spoiled. That's all I got to say. Get out there, get out to your local fields. I don't care if it's the arena. I don't care if it's ASW, Action Sports Wisconsin, and Mawson, Black Ops. You've got a million different regional milsim events. Take advantage. Coming from the desert, we had nothing. We had Copperhead. That's brilliant, but that's it. Otherwise, you're traveling 8+ hours for a Line Claws event.
Yeah.
So take advantage of, I know this weekend is competing with Ice Pick in Indiana. Take advantage of the stuff you guys got. What else you got from me?
I mean, with Copperhead, how many event coordinators are taking advantage of that? Was Lion Claws doing something? You had AMS.
Yeah. AMS is the only ones that have Playus on lockdown. No one else uses Playus, which I think is a waste. A lot of it is Victorville's overran. I mean, between MSW, Lion Claws, they all use Victorville. Cool AO, but once you've played it once or twice, it's kind of like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
But Playus never gets old because you could be on one side and it's all desert and bush and you're moving through. The other side is all mount, and then in the middle is crazy city CQB. So Playus is a great field. I know there's a lot of teams from the Midwest that are trying to get down to Copperhead this coming year.
That is one that's been on my bucket list for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to get not only the time now to actually get off and go play, but it's also hard, do I fly down? Do I drive down? Well, if I drive down, it's
a 24-hour drive.
That's a long-ass drive. I got to make it worth it.
And if you're flying, you got to figure out where you're going to fly into. Honestly, Phoenix, because from Phoenix Airport to Playus is a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
As long as you can figure out how to get your stuff on there, travel light, travel smart. Don't need JPCs. Chest rigs are key because otherwise you're going to die.
Because it's hot.
It is.
How hot?
It was about 95 in September last year, and it was dry, direct heat. We had guys falling out all the time with the fob.
That's too hot.
It's warm.
You want my professional opinion? That is too hot.
Fair enough. Yeah, I had a great opportunity to represent VFA. Thanks to Freddie out there. They sent us. We did a really cool thing. Bogas has a really cool program. Got to command T-Rex arms. Not that they listened. I don't care if Lucas listens to this. I don't. They were too busy filming, but we got to compete against Haley and those boys. So it was a really cool event. A lot of big names come together.
Hey, did you see Robo down there?
Yeah.
I'm so glad he's back in the game.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys that top 3 guys that got me into Airsoft and really influenced me as a player.
That's cool.
Super chill dude.
Yeah.
Based on his videos at least. I haven't met him in person yet.
Some of those Airsoft personalities are really chill in real life, and some are, teach their own. And we all vibe with different people, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've experienced with the bigger guys, they're human, just like anyone else. They may have a bad day. So if you do go into an event and you do see those and you try to say hi, and maybe they're upset at the game. Maybe they had a bad time at the game.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they just had
Took a tag into the chest about 5 minutes ago. Don't talk to him. That was me.
The guys at Milsom West that get 2 hours of sleep, that's going to put them off.
That's a
They're
whole
not going
different
to be in
level.
a good mood.
That's a whole different level of gameplay as MSW. But same with Centurion. That stuff is a whole different level. So if you really want that immersion, Centurion, they're a little bit less of a drive than MSW.
They're all California.
MSW. Well, I mean, I think Warren does travel a lot, but primarily California, but I know Centurion's kind of like just south of us here. Well, not Minnesota, but where we're based, Milwaukee, Madison. Yeah, it's just south. Good stuff. TCA just south. So I want to get down to GTI one of these times. That's one of my bucket list AOs. So
That is a great one.
Yeah.
They actually had like the pipes to the nuclear
oh really?
pipe, and like they had like the SWAT guys. They had the fast rope
Oh,
hooked
that's
up
cool.
to pipes overhead, so you could fast rope down into the pipes and all around. It was
Wow.
super sick. Not
That
that
is
they
awesome.
actually allowed you to do it, but it was cool to see that they actually had it all set up and shit.
That's cool. That is cool. What else you got for me? I can make some plugs for some other local guys. You got Ship of Fools. Lima's here.
Yep.
Ship of Fools at APOC.
Carl tried to drag LZ over. He just didn't want
No.
to do it for whatever
I
reason.
know. It's just a fun pirate versus military milsim. I know Vigilance got moved this year, so a lot of guys can go to Copperhead. If you didn't hear, they got pushed back
Okay.
2 weeks into the middle of September. So I know the bootleggers who run Vigilance are planning to go to Copperhead, and then you can push it back 2 weeks and come back to ASW for Vigilance 14. Dalton, don't hate me if I got that number right, but I think it's Vigilance 14. And then you got Plague, Tarkov Raid. ASW is a great field.
Lots of local stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I was just at Tarkov third raid. They had 200 plus people. Really cool. I never played the video game, but it was a cool immersion system.
Favorite ice cream?
Chocolate. I'm basic, man. I'm a basic bitch.
French vanilla.
No,
French. I'm a French vanilla person.
you kind of, well, that's why you wear a French maid outfit when you play ships. So
Right. I popped out of my mom. My dad spoon fed me ice cream. Day one.
explains a lot about you.
Yeah.
It really does.
French vanilla guy. Have you seen the Airsoft anime?
Yeah. You already talked to Gabe. This guy's the one that set all this up right here in the red shirt behind me.
He was the first one.
Fantastic job.
The Siege Paintball Muskego has airsoft days. Yeah, they do. Carl and I were actually discussing on the way up here, like taking a day to do airsoft at the Siege. It's been years since Carl's been. I drive past the Siege all the time, so
Okay.
that's
I mean, there's
one.
a lot of small fields like the Edge in Janesville. I want to get back out there and try that one now that I'm back in the Midwest. So there's a lot of options. That's the thing. Take advantage of it. Weekend plays. I mean, obviously weather's sometimes a challenge, but you got a lot of places to play.
Especially outdoors.
Oh yeah.
Super hard. Your favorite airsoft gun?
I'm an M4 basic. I love my Avalon. I really do. I'm starting to really like the Helios because it's lighter. It's like a thing weighs nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm a basic M4 guy. I tried to run an AK at Tarkov. It was just not my format.
I just can't get behind the whole rocking mag scenario.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Not for
So
me.
call me basic, call me what you want. I've ran vectors, I've ran them all, but I like a good old M4.
Secondary, your favorite secondary?
My Glock,
Which Glock?
Glock 17, because it's what I run in the real world. So that's the other thing is my Avalon's set up just like my real AR. You know, you got guys out there that use airsoft as a cheap training tool. Not that I use it in the real world anymore, but I just like to stay sharp because you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. My 19 actually, it's coming on the 4-year birthday for it.
Ooh, there we go.
April 16th was when I first got her. Opened up the box with all the rest of the Glocks, and I only looked because I recently did a 4-year review as far as how it works.
Oh, that's good. Honestly, with a lot of fields not doing, the bang rule, I don't really use a sidearm very often, which I like the no MEDs. I really do. Obviously, don't be a dick, but
Right.
I pop around the corner and you're right there. I'm gonna put them in your chest. Hopefully, you're covered. I'm not gonna shoot you in the face.
Yeah.
Don't be a guy that shoots somebody in the face. I got my 2-shot out at a TCA event in New Mexico in the mountains. I was on the radio as a command. I was actually playing against Rich Cuddy of Pork Chop Platoon, representing Eastern Empire on behalf of Freddie as Imperial 6. I wasn't really Imperial 6, but I was calling in an airstrike, and the sniper, who was way too close, pops out my tooth. Not fun. So wear mouth protection if you're young. Don't smile at the gun.
Don't smile at the flash.
Yes, exactly.
I will agree that zero MAD does cut down on a lot of arguments
Oh, yeah,
and a lot
100%.
of attitude. But again, there is that point where it does get to be too much.
Oh yeah.
I mean, last time I went and played at another field that
Shall not
I'll
be
mention off air, but I was shooting my Glock 19 at him at his butt from 30 feet away, and just one shot, and then he starts walking away with a big fucking attitude. Like, really, bro? You had to be that close? As if I was closer? I'm like, dude, I'm way over here. I'm way over here. Why are you getting upset? I could have gotten way closer.
People get really upset. And, honestly, it's not worth it. Just keep shooting. If they're not calling it, just keep shooting, because sometimes when they're running through brush or got gear on, they're not going to feel it.
Yeah. And it's all situation dependent, the day, the player, who you're playing against.
Absolutely.
Again, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. But
Absolutely.
an assured double tap does help. Confirm that they were getting hit. But just don't spray.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, most fields don't allow full auto unless you're rocking that big old heavy stoner, that pig. And to those that were willing to do that, more power to you.
Yeah. We had someone ask, are we going to get an overhead flyover of action sports? So next time I'm at Action Sports, I will do a flyover with my drones. I actually have it right here off camera. You guys can just barely see it. But yeah, going forward, since I actually have the tools necessary, I would like to when we do larger events, when we do local fields, I do want to do the flyovers to really showcase what the environment is.
If you like drones and flyovers, come check out Vigilance. There's a little secret that's happening that I don't know how I found out about, but just saying.
Okay. Teaser for Vigilance. And Ship of Fools.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And Ship of Fools. May 1st.
There you go.
I was waiting for it.
There you go. Yeah, shit. Go Pirates. Dress like a sexy maid if you want. $20 on Amazon. I may or may not have ordered a maid costume earlier.
I've been teasing these guys to all my maid outfits.
Mine's not
know
nearly
what's
as
coming.
nice as Talon and Carl's. It's real
That's
simple.
right. All the lace over my helmet. Sexy maid.
If you can't have fun in this sport, go find a new sport, because it's not worth it in the end of the day. And this is coming from a guy that used to think it was way too real and treated it way too real. Just have fun with it.
Yeah. It was funny because someone we have Carl's maid outfit off camera here, and someone walked past and was like, that's not a period correct piece. No shit, it's a maid outfit.
Yeah, teach their own. If you like that period stuff and you want to get into the reenactment, go for it. But
Right.
And I know TCA is doing some really cool Vietnam style games down in Texas.
Yeah,
we've
got some cool guys in proper Vietnam kit.
That's a lot.
Really cool guys. And last time we did, I think it was Big Luau. There was a guy with a World War II rig and outfit, down to a T. So he was freezing, unfortunately. It was really early spring.
Yeah.
He didn't have the proper cold gear. So mad respect for him for weathering it out in the cold like that. Hope you had fun.
What else you got?
I don't know. Do you have any other fun stories? I mean, come on. You were in Arizona. What else do you got?
I don't know, man. Arizona for Airsoft? I don't know. I was fun. I mean, we were at what is that? Well, they changed the name every year, but it's Lion Claws, this big one they do every Memorial Day. Got to go behind enemy lines for the entire 3 days. That was pretty fun and epic. We took on an entire platoon-size element, 6 of us. They were all vets. On behalf of VFA, we just sat in the second story, dropping EG-67s down. They ended up mortaring the building to get rid of us.
Yeah.
And they killed 220 of their own guys just to get rid of. And we only had 2 of us left still alive.
Yeah.
But hey, have fun with it. Network, socialize, get to know people, because that's how you get those really cool things. The commander at the time was Mark, Ranger Hall of Fame inductee, Green Beret. And he's like, oh, Veterans for Airsoft. That's really cool. I got a mission for you. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, I'm sending you behind enemy lines all morning. I'm like, okay, here we go. It was pretty epic, though.
Yeah, as long as you just making friends and making that association with people, you can get into some really cool things. You can do some really cool actions and activities while at events.
That's how you get roped into doing podcasts in the middle of M.A.A. AirCon.
That's right.
You just know people.
Speaking of networking, I'm gonna have to slip you that 100 afterwards.
Yes,
because
there we
obviously I pay everyone to come on here. I wish I had that money though. They are raffling stuff off. 0, 5, 1, 3. 0513. If you have ticket number 0513, you are the winner. Going once, going twice. Sucks for you.
Oh, dang.
Crossfire, guys. Oh, I see him in the background. I've not been to Crossfire, but I see him in the background. I just gave him a wave. So he's making his way over.
Good. I got to check out Crossfire. Like I said, check out fields, man. They're all over the place. Get out and play no matter what, you know. And don't listen to everybody else. Go experience it for yourself. Maybe you're an ASW guy. Maybe you're a CQB guy. Hit up Marina in Milwaukee, you know, and do what you want. Do what you got to find. Twin Cities Airsoft. They're all over the place in the Midwest. So, okay.
Airsoft is way more advantageous, in my opinion, compared to paintball because you don't need it's not league based. You can just go wherever, whenever, with however many people you want. You can just go have fun.
And you can take it to a level of forming a really intense team or keeping it really low key. Also, here in Wisconsin, you get to use the things that are right there called pyro. Arizona, we couldn't without setting off fires. So like smokes, EG7, 67 is not allowed because you set bushfires because it's so dry.
Not us. We're wet up here.
Yeah, it's not stopped raining since I came back. So I'm sorry I brought that crappy weather with, but we don't get it there. So yeah. What else you got, Talon?
I don't know. I'm just killing time for the Crossfire guys. I don't know where he went. I think he stopped like part way. Oh no, he ended up walking away. No, get back here.
You need to get him over here. Because you're live.
Yeah. I mean, we're going on an hour 21.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
You got more questions? Who's following you?
We've got Nordic Ninja. Nordic Ninja's been very active. Tim Churchill. We had DJ in here. I think he usually comes in and out. And some Jordan G, Michael Cowell, Son of Goku, like pretty regular guys. I appreciate those guys. Are you gonna start launching those?
Maybe the camera, right?
Yeah. Let's see. From Crossfire, I actually got going in front of the camera here. I actually got this guy. I got a Spring Tech. It's a Airsoft AEG spring analyzer. So you guys specifically are gonna see this way more often in videos. I'm gonna do like an actual like video because we've got of all the like years of doing tech work, we've got like a box that's overflowing with springs. So this is, hey, help me out here. Christmas, unbox me. Unbox me, baby. So this is something that we, as far as the techs at Airsoft headquarters, have been trying to figure out. So it's a there's a method to the madness. So you would mount this to the wall here. So you would drop your spring inside there. That pipe would go through, and with the what is the name of this? I forget the name of it, but it measures the pound force of the force being applied via the spring. You attach it to the bottom of the bolt that's sticking through, and then dependent on how hard you have to pull in order to get the spring flat, will tell you like average what that spring is. Is it an M190, M110, M150? So that is going to come in handy, man. Yeah, that guy is going for $45, and to make it we could like makeshift do something through the store, but to have something like pre-made for $45 and it comes with all the hardware there, I'm really impressed. So
if you do any kind of tech work, I feel like that's a good tool to have in your chest.
Yeah, just all of the loose springs.
You know how many times I got shot with this Nerf gun today?
Pretty often,
yeah,
but not by me.
Because Carl's a dirty Carl.
He's a dirty Carl.
He is.
Can we maybe play at the Bristol Ren?
Nordic Ninja. That is something that I don't want to talk about. I mean, I like the field of Black Ops. I like how it's set up. I like the location. It's a good field. Unfortunately, there's just some people there that I just don't want to associate with.
I mean, if you've ever played Avalon, they used the Texas Renaissance Fair, and then Brandon Breaker of Phoenix Company, AK Buttons, he just came back, and him and I were talking over a beer about what that was like, because Avalon was on my radar, because it's kind of one of those cool milsim / LARPy, get your real nerd on type of thing. But they, I think, lost access because you can't use any of the buildings or anything. So you're just kind of playing in an open place because they don't want to damage stuff since it's a year-round facility. So I don't know.
That Nordic Ninja actually has a good idea. One thing that he doesn't see is having like a kit with multiple BB weights in order to do like proper testing. And it's funny because I actually was teasing with the guys because like one of those like early morning gas
Just
station
had your
coffee
coffee?
thoughts
Yeah, okay.
while you're standing in line. Like how you go to a hotel and you have the cereal dispensers, but if we could do that with BBs. Or even like through the aisles of Walmart or Woodman's where you have the coffee dispensers.
Yeah, fill your own bag to figure out what's best way.
Yeah.
Instead of buying thousands upon thousands of them, that's not a bad idea.
So like
Maybe headquarters will be the first to do that.
I think that would be just fun. Not that it would need to be like a business, like, oh, we got to make money this way.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to. I think it would just be funny to have a cool dispenser. Oh, you want a mix of 2.5 regular and 2.5 tracers?
There you go.
1 and 1.
Could work. Especially because I think he's got a point. When we were at Tarkov last weekend, you start out with .2s. Well, most of my guns are, weighted and tuned for 3s.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden my BBs are woo, and I'm like, oh crap. So then you're sitting there playing with your hop up. So knowing what your gun functions at with your range at every weight would be a good idea.
That's a very good point. Nordic Ninja, thank you. I haven't been to the arena recently. Do you have tracers in stock? Tracer units or tracer BBs? Yes to both. Ish. The arena has tracer units available and for sure has tracer BBs. We currently are waiting to receive an order of a bunch of Ace Tech tracers, the lighter S, the lighter R, the Bifrost, and the brighter C. So we got a couple of different newer units coming in. Do you run tracers?
I do. Absolutely. I got nods and everything for it, so it's a lot of fun.
What do you prefer as far as a tracer unit?
I have the simple Ace Tech. I haven't really dabbled a whole lot. I definitely want to get something smaller, shorter, because you got to figure out your play style, whether you're going to be somebody that's more stationary. So then the length of your tracer is not necessarily an issue. But if you're going to be pieing corners, clearing rooms, you want the shorter the gun, the better.
Yeah. Go ahead and grab my T10 because I've got the blaster on there. So the blaster there from Ace Tech has the orange muzzle flash on the end.
Okay.
The Bifrost is the same model, but you can change the color of the blast.
Oh, wow.
So
What do one of those run?
So this guy, the blaster, is 85, 89, and then the Bifrost is $90, 95, somewhere around there, a little bit more, just because it has all of the colors. You've got your orange, your yellow, your red, orange. I said orange twice. You can also do green, blue, purple.
It's a nice little setup.
Thanks.
Too bad he doesn't get out more with it.
That's right.
Oh, shots fired.
Oh, self-burn.
That's what happens when you make your hobby a profession.
That's right. Hey, next time Action Sports has the night event,
Yeah.
I'm going to take my Tipman with tracers, not taking the night vision other than to just film casually with. And I'm going to make it a
You run
point.
psionics, don't you?
Yep. So I'm going to make it a point of every time Paul or whoever turns the overhead lights off, I'm just going to start blasting with the Tipman because I've got it as loud as possible. And once I start spraying tracers, I'm just going to be obnoxious.
There you go.
Because if you guys haven't played the Action Sports night event, or any night events for that matter, they have spotlights that they have like strategically placed on the field, and it's run off a generator. So in the background, you have it constantly going. It's that constant, and then he hits it. The floodlights all just turn off in like an instant, and then for a good 30 seconds to maybe a minute, everyone's just dead silent. Everyone's so scared to move once it gets super quiet and the lights are out. So I'm just going to make it as soon as it's lights out.
Gotcha.
I see you over there.
If you don't have the equipment to play a night op, you don't still go out and see what it's like, because a lot of fields do have those floodlights where you can still have some form of low light. You don't have to have nods and tracer elements to make yourself somewhat effective.
Nods are cool, for sure, 100%, but they're not necessary. There's actually at the night event that I went to, there was a whole team that I ended up sweeping because they didn't check their corner.
Yeah.
So guess what? Not player number 1, number 2, number 3, and then off to number 4.
So sometimes that's all it takes. If you're laughing or figuring out why I have a giant smile, Carl just walked up in this maid costume. So
Carl, give us another cheese in the maid outfit.
come on.
Have you guys heard about the Odin
That beautiful thing.
Innovations HPA shotgun engine?
Oh, that was that shell ejecting weird
Yeah,
one.
we've seen it. We've heard rumors about it. We've seen the prototypes. Actually, we have off topic, but there's someone that's selling a Flak 10, one of the pink Flak 10s. I've been eyeing it up, but rent's coming up, so I gotta be strategic about this. BBs. Yes, we do have BBs. Yeah, you're all good. Thank you, Dick.
Thank you.
BBs. Yes, we have the ASEC BBs. We have the Valken BBs. We have the ASEC, Valken, G&Gs, and the Elite Force bags. We've got those down at the arena. What do you prefer? Noisy GBBs or Sneaky Ninja? I used to do the Sneaky Ninja stuff. I'm just more used to, we got the Crossfire. Come here. Haha. Hey there. Come on, take a hot seat.
What happened to the last guy that was here?
He just dipped out. I was done bothering him with questions.
Good.
So go ahead and introduce yourself for us.
My name is Joe Bukowski. I am the field manager for Crossfire Airsoft. We're the oldest and largest airsoft field in Minnesota.
In St. Paul.
St. Cloud.
St. Cloud.
We're essentially located in about the middle of the state.
Okay.
So an hour drive from everywhere, like all the other airsoft fields there are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys have like a really good concentration in the central Minnesota area.
Well, we actually get people driving as far as Fargo and coming up from Lakeville. So we actually about a 3-hour distance, people coming to the field. So yeah. No, it's great. And we have always had really good crowds. And this year we were adding a whole bunch more games, specialty games and stuff. So it should be a really great year this year.
And you guys are a paintball and airsoft field.
Right. Yep. We've got a 50-acre space. About 20 of it is for paintball, and the airsoft field is 30 acres, and it's airsoft only. They don't mix.
Right.
So I don't allow paintball on my field. No.
But
Not at all.
You started with paintball at that field.
No, it was separate. No, this is our new field we moved to about 4 years ago. We were in another field that they had paintball at for like 15 years, and then started adding airsoft for some undeveloped acres. But that airsoft field was like 6 acres.
Yeah.
So we've gone from 6 to 30. And we built this one from scratch. So we planned everything, built everything, cleared all the trees out, did everything from scratch. So it's built by airsofters for airsofters.
Perfect. And then you should include paintball within that separate area.
Yep. There's 3 or 4 paintball fields. Okay. So, yep. No, it's great. We have a large parking space, and our field's a little different because you park. We have carts. You can grab a cart, get your stuff out of your car, check in, go to the staging area. We've got picnic tables with awnings over everything, so you can sit in the shade. Your stuff is there. So we have room for about 120 players. So they're all together. So it makes for really good camaraderie and people going up to other people talking and stuff like that. And then the field's right there and Chrono's right there. So yeah, it's worked out really, really well for us.
Awesome. Do you have a retail space as well?
No, we do not.
Okay.
No. Just whatever at the check-in station, the gas and the BBs and stuff like that. So yeah.
The consumables.
Yeah, just the consumable stuff.
Okay.
So
okay.
yeah.
Any plans on expansion for that?
No, we're gonna stay with just doing the other stuff. That's enough. We're not in a town or anything, so we're out a couple miles away. So it would make sense to have a retail space really for us. So okay. we like to push all our players to go to the local retailers and work with them as much as they can and buy stuff. So
excellent. Yep. Good job.
Yep.
How long have you been playing airsoft? And did you even start with airsoft?
Yes, I started with airsoft. 8 years. Yeah. I started. My son's birthday. One of their friends bought them a couple of clear pistols, and they were shooting each other and running around outside of the house. And that freaked my wife out completely because she thought the cops were going to show up. And it's like, no. And I checked the pistols out. I mean, literally .20s, 15 feet away, they wouldn't hurt a fly. So it was no big deal. And then one day my wife said she was going to take my daughter and they were going to go for a girls' weekend. She said, hey, you need to take the boys and go do something. I thought, oh, kind of this airsoft stuff kind of sounds fun. So I had the boys. They were both in freshman in high school, I think. And I bought them a couple of airsoft guns off of Airsplat, and
When that was still
when that was still running, because I knew nothing about it. And we bought 3 guns and batteries and masks and stuff. And some friends of ours own some land outside the city limits, and I got them to let us go on their land, and we spent the weekend playing airsoft for the first time. And I'm still doing it. One of my sons is still doing it, and he's 4 years out of college, and he still comes and plays with me. And I now manage and design the fields and come up with the games and do all the stuff airsoft related at Crossfire.
Excellent.
So yeah, it's been really good.
Are you guys open all year round?
No, we're seasonal. So if there's snow on the ground, we're probably not playing. Usually if it's 40 degrees or colder, we're not going to play. No. So, but and this weekend, the snow is now off the field. So now we're starting to do our planning. We're going to be opening up in April, end of April. I think it's opening weekend.
End of April. You guys hear that? End
Yep.
of April.
Yeah, and it'll be really nice because we've got like 2 pages of maintenance and new things we've got to build. And, you know, I wish those lumber prices were a little lower so we could get more stuff built, but we've got a lot of stuff.
You're telling us.
Yeah, we're got a lot of plans, a lot of things we really want to do. So yeah, it's going to be a wonderful year. So, and we had a really good last year too. We had really good groups and played a lot of different games. We've got 2 different groups coming in this year that are going to run special games. Bad Goat Airsoft is running 2 games at our field, and then there's another series. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. One of the players that comes out, he's going to be running, so he's going to run 1 per month. So yeah, we'll be doing lots of new things this year.
Perfect.
It'll be
That
great.
was my next follow-up question about regional games. You already hit it.
Yeah. So that, and we want to promote more because there is a large campsite right next to us that people can stay over the weekend and then play Saturday and Sunday. That we've had people do that, and that's really worked out really well. And we want to do a little more regional games, fill out the field a little bit more. Because again, like I may have mentioned before to you, every box, every barrel on the field, there's 3 of us who run it, and we've all, argued and mulled over, should we put the barrel there, or do we need to put it 10 feet more this way? Okay, if we put it there, is this going to cover? How's the sight light? So we really do get involved and make sure that the field is going to work for the airsoft players. We don't just like throw stuff out on the field and say, oh, here it is. It's like,
Right.
No, we're very particular about it. Or at least I know I am. So
Excellent. Well, some easy questions.
sure.
Favorite pastime snack?
Oh, Heath bars and Oreo cookies. Oh God, I can't. I just can't have one. That's
Things
for sure.
that I try so hard to stay
Oh,
away
I got to
from.
stay away from them. I really do. I have high blood sugar, and I just not a good thing. Not a good thing.
Any other favorite hobbies?
I build models. I've built models all my life, and I still do that.
40K models?
No,
80
like
models?
1/35 scale. I do a lot of German stuff.
Okay.
A lot of 1/16 scale I'm into now. I'm doing a lot of more modern American stuff. I'll do that. That's more of a winter kind of thing. It's a little harder to do in the summer.
I was fingers
boy.
crossed for Gundam.
I've got a lot of the Star Wars. I've been buying up a lot of the Star Wars kits, and they snapped it. They're fantastic to put together, and I've been working on those. So my wife is, we bought an RV recently, so we've got a lot of camping involved, and I can see me working on a Star Wars kit, go for a walk, dear. I'm going to play this for a while and just do this. So, but yeah, well, and then I gave you, I talked to you about the Spring Tech.
Yep. And
Which is-
actually, the last guy, Nick, he actually helped me open it up, and I went through
Oh,
everything with him.
fantastic. Okay, well, if you have any questions, let me know. But yeah, that was something, again, it was one of those things that I was frustrated. I was working on friends' guns, and, it was shooting hot. So you would tear the thing apart and try to change a new spring, and then you'd put it all back together, and then you'd like re-chrono it, and it would be like 10 FPS less. You're like, oh, God, I think after like the third time tearing a friend's gun apart, I said, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be some way of measuring springs. And I ended up starting with some copper tubing, and figuring that out and soldering and then working with that. And then eventually got into 3D printing and 3D print the parts. And Evite carries them. And I'm trying to think, there's a couple of other places that do carry them now. I think Amped Airsoft carries them now. And I'm just trying to get them into retailers. So hopefully you guys can carry them too.
Yep.
Because there's plenty of techs around. And after you use it for a while, you'll learn that, this is an invaluable tool.
Yeah.
This is one of the things that and a gas key and some of the air tech stuff that they use for mech boxes. Those are like, you got to have tools if you're working on.
We've got a stack of the HPA lube for O-rings.
Oh, yep. Yeah. So it's I do a lot of that. But we're just getting really super excited for the field this year. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of work, but it's fun, and I really enjoy doing the building and doing the figuring things out and doing all that stuff. So
fingers crossed that we can actually, myself and Carl, I'll drag him out here. Fingers crossed this summer.
I hope so. We've made it to your field a couple of times. You got to come see ours.
With the lack of staff, but we're catching up as far as the staff work goes. So
no, I understand that completely. Yes,
he runs the indoor field, and he just recently got an assistant manager. So
okay, good.
Hopefully, we can actually get something there. As far as me, I need to get someone else as well.
No, I understand. We've gone from every other weekend, which we were for the last 4 or 5 years, and to now every Saturday and then every other Sunday. So the three main refs, myself, Zach, and John, each take one day. And then we're going to supplement that with either paintball refs or other refs, or I really don't want to do player refs. I want to be able to have an actual ref.
Yeah, someone with some unbiased.
So I don't think it'd be so much bias. It's just they need to understand the game and they need to understand what to look for. And we have a training program that we're putting together to help do that, and just getting things ready for the day too. We have a lot of rentals. We have to make sure all the rentals work and all this stuff. So product
knowledge is also a very hard thing to just teach.
Right.
That's usually a learned concept.
Yeah, because if a gun jams, you got to know how to unjam a gun.
Yeah.
Throw it on full auto, point it to the ground, shoot it a little bit, flip it back to the semi, give it back to the kid.
Or even like the old school G&G L85s that have that locking plate for the different spring tension. So that's a trick. Like, hey, a homeboy shoots passing indoor velocity, but then maybe he can pull that out, lock it so that there's extra tension before he makes it onto the field.
Yeah, we always used to check. King Arms made a SVD, and it was all single shot, but there was a little button next to the trigger. If you slid it back, it would do full auto. And unless you knew that, you're like, why is he doing full auto? He got sniper rules on this. Wait a minute. Yeah, so I do understand that. But no, we do everything in joules, and we are trying to go do more of a class system. So we have the SMG class, which will be up to 1 joule, and then they get burst mode. And then there's regular riflemen that go up to 1.5 joules, and they get semi. And then we have the sniper rules. We don't have DMR yet. I can't quite get the boss to say we can do that yet. So,
takes a little bit of a balance.
A little bit of Enough people asked if we can do these other things. I'm like, yeah, we're all set, ready to go. So no, it'll be good. It'll be really good. So
excellent. Let's see if we got any questions here. This was a question from when Nick was sitting here. Do you prefer noisy gas blowbacks or sneaky ninja HPAs?
I really like gas blowbacks, but because I'm shooting against AEGs, I got to go AEGs. Yeah. KWA AEGs. I've got 2 of them. Yes.
I've got mine.
I know. I saw that. I'm like, oh, yes, total fanboy. Yes, KWA all the way. As a matter of fact, I just got rid of my GMP because I have the KWA, the T6, and I've got the Mod 2, and someone's trying to sell me a MP7 here. And I'm like, but the mags are $75 a piece if you can find them, and he's only got 1 mag. I'm like, if you had 3 mags, I would buy it, but 1 mag, that's fun in the backyard gun. I couldn't skirmish that because
it needs
to be done. Okay, well, there was my fun.
Exactly. I'd probably have to go for gas blowbacks or HPA. I'd probably go HPA, even though I'm having like a little bit of like a relationship thing with HPA. I'm kind of taking a break from her.
Right. Well, I just sold her. I had a 429 I picked up years ago with a Polar Star interior. It was beautiful.
Decked out.
I finally sold it today. It's been sitting on my shelf for 3.5 years, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to use this. Let's see if someone else can enjoy it. And I just sold her today, so I'm a little sad.
More room for KWA, so.
Yeah, that's true. That is very, very true. I don't know if I get anything else. I think the T6 and the other one are nice. So,
are you gonna try some of the polymer body ones?
No, I picked up the G&G 45, the new one. I picked that one up, and then I picked up the MP5 from you. So I'm good for now on guns. I sold 6. I cannot replace it with 2 more. And I gotta wait. I gotta go play. I gotta get out there and play.
Oh, I hear that, man.
Yeah, because it's so hard to do.
It is.
Yeah,
It really is.
especially if you're in the industry. If I'm reffing every other weekend or whatever, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of hard to get out and play.
The old 40 mic, I saw a vid of a guy aim up, fire an arching shot, use it like an artillery strike, not a direct fire. Thoughts?
Interesting. To be honest, I would rather we get the balloon mortar that they make. There's a company in Europe that makes mortars, but they're balloon. I would love to have one of those on the field.
It was at the Georgia event, Iron Fury by TCA. There was the Airsoft Junkies guys that had someone come in with mortars. And they had like a little roped up area, and they were like launching mortars into the actual AO from the staging area. It was cool for everyone in staging, like to see it like,
yeah,
and like seeing it like travel the half-quarter mile to the AO and like indirect fire into the buildings. That was really cool. But that's definitely something like probably not on the airsoft market. Maybe like
probably not.
Needs to be in the right hands.
Yeah. Because I've always wanted to do it where we have a mortar pit pre-set up, and they have to, as part of their mission, they have to go to different parts, collect all the pieces, assemble the mortar, and then launch 5 into town or do whatever. Because even if they were smokes, just launch smokes. That would be fun. Because then it's like, okay, that area is dead. We know that. As long as the smoke is going, that area is off limits. I'd love to do something like that and play more of that kind of stuff. But, you can only do so much.
Yeah.
So,
again, it comes down to that feel balance thing.
Right. Yeah.
Like, how can I not spend a buttload of money and still make it like super fun?
Yeah. Because I mean, you can't raise prices in airsoft, at least not on fields. Well, yeah.
But as far as like indirect fire with the 40 mic, guys have been doing it for years with just their AEGs or whatever. I think it's fine. I mean, there's a video of me at Action Sports with the Avalon PDW doing that.
Okay.
And that was me just like trying to like, I wonder how accurate and consistent this is. And I can see like a line of fire through all of the building structures, but I'm arching the PDW over.
Yeah.
And I can see like guys like from spawn like, I'm like, it can be done.
See, I look at it totally different. I go, I would love that, but I'd say, what is it going to take for me to staff that? So I need one guy shooting and then one guy where it's landing to confirm where it is. And it's like, oh crap, more staff issues,
more bodies, more people.
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping. If you want airsoft to survive, volunteer and ref, even if it's for half a day. Because without refs, we can't play games. And then you've got nowhere to go, and then the stores can't sell anything because you've got no place to play. It's like, just volunteer and ref at your local field, please. Even if it's just as a second assistant ref, kind of take these guys out to that spawn. Okay, thanks, I'll do that, Yeah. Because it helps so much. And we pay our refs pretty well, too. It's still just getting them to be there.
Yeah. Even like for all of the older players, like just being the example, not being like a leadership role, but being able to police the players there.
Right.
I don't expect like older players to always be on the rules, like always calling people out in staging or on the field or whatever, but like having the integrity to be willing to say something when they need to.
Well, like someone explained to me the other day, and I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier, is that when you ref, like if you're a player ref, you're not reffing the other team, you're reffing your team.
Yeah.
You're watching your team, they're watching their team. You're calling out your guys if they get hit or if they do something bad or whatever. You're not having to yell at the other team and do that. That's, I'm like, yeah, that makes more sense. So if we get more player refs, things will run a lot smoother. So it'll be good.
Other questions? What a lovely great outfit. Field Facebook page name.
Pictures.
It should be Crossfire Airsoft MN at Facebook.com. I think that's what it is.
After this, I'll leave a link in
Yeah.
the description.
Yeah, and there should be plenty of pictures on there. I'm usually the guy who's out taking pictures all the time. So yeah. There's a lot of web galleries, or go to the web page too. There's lots of stuff there.
Yeah. We're just go into local players that have a larger channel. They should, if they're a smart player with their YouTube channel, have a playlist set up for gameplay or events, and then you can filter through that playlist and find a specific field.
Yep. Yeah, that's true too.
Your recommendation for a best long-range setup that is not a bolt action?
Well, pretty much any decent AEG with at least a 10-inch barrel, and as long as you got the hop up, you've cleaned the barrel, you got a good rubber, hop up rubber, and a good nub, nice flat hopped or something like that. I've got stock. Most of my AEGs are like 10-inch. I like the 10-inch size, like the T6 and stuff. I'm shooting 175 to 200 feet effectively, easily.
Yeah.
That's gonna be just fine.
Like just going with a good manufacturer out of the box, good performance. That will already help you out.
Right, and then we have something that I call anyway. I call it airsoft scale. So, if a real rifle shoots, and I don't shoot real rifles, but if a real rifle shot 1,000 feet effectively, and airsoft gun only went 150. Then you kind of base it on, okay, well, I'm not going to make my buildings and everything, 200 feet apart. I'm going to make them 150 feet apart. So you kind of like scale your buildings and you scale your stuff down. So if you have a sniper rifle that does 250, 300 feet, you do have that advantage over a regular, AEG. But most AEGs shoot 150, 175. I mean, decent ones out of the box. And you can usually stretch out at least another 50. Arcing it a little bit, a little higher, but but just making sure everything's clean and good barrel and good bucking and stuff. And I think that works out really, really well. So I don't, it would be something KWA if I was going to recommend you something. So
the X18, like a good long barrel system, I find to be more consistent of a BB flight path. So the X15, the X18, good long barrel systems.
Well, basically any AK. I just shoot almost all AKs.
If you get like a good Sima AK, that outranges everything.
Yeah. I use Ditech, which is like, what? They're like, but I got these and they're really good. And I was like, whatever they paid the Chinese woman to assemble it that day, she did really, really, really well. Because it's like they on a 110 spring, they're pushing just under 400. They got nice straight barrels. They just shoot amazing. And it's like, any AK will do it for me.
Yeah.
So
that was a good question. I mean, I could suggest like a G&G M14 or the G&G proper Knights Armor Master.
Not an M14.
But you're paying the M14's version 7 gearbox, and that's just a pain in the ass to work on.
That's why it's like, no, don't do an M14. And they're heavier than hell.
Yeah.
Especially if you get the new ones.
Yeah.
With the all metal, it's like, oh my God.
We've got some nice walnut ones that have like the new E2 MOSFET systems. Really good shooters out of the box, but it's still a version 7 gearbox.
Yeah.
It's still a nightmare.
Actually, just get an Evo. Just buy an Evo. I wish I would have never sold my Evo. Oh, I love that thing. But unfortunately, the mags were like 75 rounds and
And they're so expensive, even for like the individual ones.
Yeah.
PTS recently came out with their magazines.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But like, a little too late.
Yeah. And did they come out with an AK mag?
Yes.
They did. Okay. I didn't know if they had come out with an AK mag yet.
It's the 545 type of magazine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Not the 762.
No, that's fine.
It all feeds the same.
Yeah. I was looking at the 12, the It's the AK-12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The AK-12 is a
Okay,
AK.
okay. Well, they've got the AK-12 mags here, and
Yeah.
they're the 30 to 130 switchable, but then they've got the little windows. I don't have an AK-12, but those mags look really nice, and it's a box of 5, and I'm like, ooh, I don't really need those, but man, those would look really good. Those would be really nice to have. That'd be really nice to have. I was like, oh, well, I did sell a couple of guns today, so I guess I got the money.
You got the spare cash.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't like it to burn a hole in my pocket like it's doing right now. So, well, good. Actually, looks like people are slowly packing up here, even though it's supposed to go till 6. We're still got plenty of time. Yeah.
We're almost reaching the 2-hour mark for the live video. Carl. Jeez. Have you always been in Minnesota?
Yes. I was born and raised here in St. Cloud.
Okay. Have you gone outside of the state for playing airsoft?
Yeah, I've gone to a couple of TCA games in Chicago, Third Coast Airsoft, and which I absolutely love. And I did the one in Wisconsin for
the mall one?
No, well, I've done the mall one actually twice. John Liu's game, and then I think he did both times. I think in the mall in Milwaukee. Yeah, I did that. Yeah. American Milsim did one in Wisconsin. I did that one last year. I'm not going to be able to do any national games this year, unfortunately, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be a little more selective for larger events up here.
Yeah. Yeah, there isn't that much, which,
Lion Claws had a really good handle as far as many years ago. I'll be with you in just a couple minutes. Lion Claws many years ago had a really good handle on many events. Like there was one up in Duluth, Minnesota.
Yeah. Noping.
Yes.
Yeah.
Northern Lights.
Northern Lights. Yeah. Actually, it was kind of funny. About 2 weeks before that, the guy that found that place and talked to John Liu, he did a private game. So we actually had the whole thing by ourselves. There's like 40 of us up there. Yeah, we did all kinds of things you should not be doing. Yeah. We had smoke inside and all kinds of stuff. It's like, no. But John Liu did a very good job the first year we were there. The second year wasn't as good, but it was more weather related. It wasn't as good. So, but yeah.
That was my first big Milsim event.
Yeah.
And that was so much fun.
Oh, yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I don't think he hasn't been up this way yet. So
no. There was another Lion Claws event in Michigan. There was one not in the Dakotas. Maybe there was one in Iowa.
Yeah, there was one in Iowa.
We're talking like 8
to
5 years ago.
No, yeah, this is like probably about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. There was one in Iowa, and I can't remember the name of the company that put that one on. It was basically a local guy that did it. It was at a Renaissance Fair.
Yeah.
The I can't remember, but I remember doing it Friday night, and then Saturday, and then Sunday, and I think it snowed like Saturday night or something like that. It was like 3 inches of snow everywhere on Sunday, and I think we said, "Yeah, we're going home."
Yeah, that's usually a really good sign.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not playing in the cold. Yeah. So, well, fantastic. Thank you very much. You keep up with the videos, and I watch every week. I walk the dog, I listen to them, or I'm working on my computer, and I always have another monitor listening. So,
thank you. I appreciate it.
Guys, I know I do video production for a living, and I know what it takes to do those. And you're there very early, and you stay very late to get them done, and I totally understand that. So,
especially doing like the whole retail. Usually in super early morning.
Yeah.
Do the retail and then go afterwards and like finish up whatever I need to video work wise.
Oh yeah. I totally understand, and I have total props for you because I know what it's like doing it. So, all right, thank you very much, Tom. It's been
Thank you so much.
All right, take care. Talk to you soon.
Take care. And LZ is free. LZ, do you want to drop in Ship of Fool stuff? We've been talking about it several times. Yeah, show off your new gun. Because you were excited about this when you visited the shop last time.
Yeah.
This is Lee Mazzulu. He is a event coordinator here for local Wisconsin. Ship of Fools. That's your biggest one, but you've done other things like Big Luau.
Yep. We used to run a Vietnam event and a sci-fi themed event too. But Ship of Fools has always been our biggest one. And, so we hope to see you there in the spring. It's May 1st. I'm enjoying myself at the Airsoft Convention. Things are kind of winding down now. I just got myself a Car 15 because my wife stole mine.
So you had to get a replay.
I had to get one because we were at an event and her SCAR went down. She ended up using my Car 15, and then afterwards she said, by the way, this is mine now. So now I went and got another one.
You got to have something for yourself.
Yeah. But thanks for having me.
Sure thing.
And,
Thanks
yeah.
for stuff. You're a leader and a scholar and a gentleman for all these local schmucks.
Thank you very much.
So, Ship of Fools, May 1st. I hit something that I didn't mean to. And with that, we've hit the 2-hour mark almost on the dot perfectly. We're going to wrap it up right here. Thank you guys for everyone that stayed tuned and watched maybe the full 2 hours. Maybe you're coming back later and watching this. Either way, it was a very good long-form video. And hopefully I'll remember what I said I would do in the description. But linking Crossfire Airsoft. I'm going to link pretty much all the events that we talked about, the event coordinators. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for staying tuned. Hopefully you had fun, answered a bunch of questions for you. And with that, we're all done here. So you guys take care, stay safe, stay positive. Carl, dad advice, very end of it. You're the last piece, the cherry on the top. Give us some dad advice.
Don't be a jerk. Always have snacks. Make sure you have water. Stretch yourself out. Being hungover for an event is terrible. Watch your head. Call your hits. Dead people don't talk. They shut the fuck up. That's it.
You guys take care.
Love you. Love you. Stay positive.